hard to be strong.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about.
For the first time, we are hearing from the parents of Hunter Burns. The 22-year-old died after crashing into this guardrail on the side of I-75. 10 Investigates has uncovered that this guardrail was not only improperly installed prior to the crash, it was turned into a monster, according to safety advocates.
And it's not the only one they've uncovered on Florida roads. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Dave Wagner.
And I'm Carolina Lead. Jennifer Titus is live for us tonight in Pinellas County. Jen, that guardrail was one of the ones on your list.
It was, Carolina, and yes, experts coined that term Frankenstein because it's literally the mishmashing of different parts put on the end of a guardrail, turning that guardrail into literally a monster. Over the past couple of months, we've identified Frankenstein guardrails all across Florida roads, even learning that some contractors who are responsible for installing these guardrails didn't know the dangers a Frankenstein guardrail could cause.
Is it?
It's been 3 years.
Yeah,
That's it?
yeah.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
And the emotion still so raw.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Ah, wow.
As the DeFilippos find a piece of a puzzle they wish they didn't have to put together.
Oh wow.
We'll take it with us.
This rusted door, they say, was part of the truck their son Hunter Burns was driving the morning of March 1st, 2020.
It's hard to be strong.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about.
Hunter was the most amazing human. He just lit up the room whenever he walked in. He had the biggest personality. He was loved by so many people. It's 6:46 on Sunday morning, and there's 2 knocks on the front door. I spring up out of the bed, and there stands the 2 Florida Highway Patrolmen. They tell us that Hunter had been in an accident and that he had not made it.
According to this crash report, Hunter's truck collided with a guardrail end. That impact forced the truck to rotate counterclockwise before overturning and colliding with a large overhead traffic sign support pole.
Something just didn't sit right.
Then she got a call from Steve Eimers.
This is one of the most egregious installations I have ever found involving a fatal crash. They've got to figure out how it happened, and it can never happen again. We had a 22-year-old young man who hit a signpost and was incinerated. Yeah, I am mad, and I think the people of the state of Florida should be mad too.
Eimers' daughter Hannah lost her life after crashing into a guardrail.
My daughter was dead right there, and I kept asking for my background. Why? And it sent me down a rabbit hole.
He now spends his days advocating for safer roadways.
Our roadside safety hardware is not so safe. We love to study safety. We love to spend a lot of money meeting about safety, but we don't always practice safety. And there's a huge difference.
We partnered with Steve locating guardrails throughout the state that were not only improperly installed, but Frankensteined.
Frankensteining, it goes back to, the monster Frankenstein. It is when you take parts from different systems and mix them together.
The parts that don't work together ultimately creates a monster on the roads.
So this is the guardrail that was involved in Charles's crash.
Charley Pike knows all too well about that monster.
This thing impaled the truck like a harpoon.
He lost his leg after a guardrail speared the truck where he was riding in the front seat.
You go to move your foot and nothing moves, that really freaks you out.
Pike filed this lawsuit against the Florida Department of Transportation after his accident. It claims during the collision, the ET Plus guardrail failed to perform as designed because it was improperly installed. How did you find that out, and how did you feel?
I felt cheated, kind of, and anger, very, because of the whole situation.
More anger even today, because it's been 10 years since Pike's crash, and with Steve's help, we located dozens of Frankenstein guardrails and inserted them into our database. He says the guardrail where Hunter Burns crashed is one of the most egregious installs he's ever seen.
To have an upside down rail, to have it to be missing parts, to be bolting where you should not be bolting, to be inserting parts that do not belong in this system into the system. I think that FDOT needs to look deeply into this crash. They need to figure out what happened here.
We tried for months to sit down with FDOT about our findings, even emailing them our entire database. While they wouldn't speak with us, we know they did speak to their contractors within 24 hours of our email. We located them at the guardrail where Hunter's crash happened. 3 years later, it still wasn't repaired correctly, but it is now. And while our cameras were out shooting this Frankenstein guardrail on US 19, we witnessed an FDOT contractor pull up.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're just coming out. We were told to come and inspect it. This guardrail's just, we're just coming out here because DOT had asked us to come out here and inspect it. So that's what we're doing.
Just today?
Just today.
This guardrail was Frankenstein.
I don't know what Frankenstein means.
This guardrail in particular was one of the dozens of monsters on our list.
And this guardrail is also missing the initial perforations.
Structural engineer and current professor at University of Alabama, Birmingham, Kevin Schramm, says it comes down to educating contractors.
We have contractors that install guardrail. That's the primary source for guardrail installation across the country and in most states. But when the guardrail installer doesn't necessarily know how an end treatment is supposed to work, they'll a lot of times just make the installation work. They'll put holes together that they think fit together or put bolts through holes that they think are supposed to be there. And if they don't understand the functionality of the terminal, they won't understand why doing so is bad or why it won't work.
I miss him so much.
At the site where their son lost his life, the DeFilippos still have a hard time understanding how this guardrail made its way onto the roadway.
I think that is probably what my biggest issue is that you're taking people's lives into your own hands because you aren't properly doing it the first time. We would do whatever it takes for his name, for this to be changed. We want for them to be fixed and fixed correctly and put together correctly so that other parents and families don't have to walk this out.
And back out here live, the DeFilippos are very happy with what I am about to tell you next. FDOT finally responded to our emails, to our database, and not only are they going back and doing a statewide review of every inch of guardrail on their roadways, the department is re-emphasizing the safety and importance of our policies and procedures to crews and contractors who are responsible for installing and inspecting guardrails and attenuators on our roadways. FDOT also tells us while several guardrail approach terminals on the approved product list have similar visual characteristics, they each have unique installation requirements. The department understands and is re-emphasizing to our employees and contractors how important continuing education is. As new products are introduced and technologies evolve, all department employees and vendors should have a full understanding of how each product is intended to function and to be installed. They ended it by thanking us for taking this topic into consideration and help making our Floridians and visitors safe. Of course, Carolina and Dave, we're going to make sure that these inspections and this statewide review is done.
You know, just to hear the stories of these families and the heartbreak that they've gone through and know that it's preventable, that is really just very, very sad.
It is. So, Jen, this is important that they are doing this statewide investigation, a full statewide review, but who's actually doing them? The contractors who installed them incorrectly in the first place?
Yeah, that's what we asked FDOT. We asked who exactly is doing this. They have not gotten back to us, but we have talked to lawmakers who are going to make sure that these reviews are done correctly. We also asked FDOT if we could ride along in one of these inspections. They unfortunately denied our request. For now, we're live in Pinellas County tonight. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.
All right, really important investigation, Jen. Thank you. If you want to check out the list of guardrails that our safety advocate found were improperly installed, go to our story at 10tampabay.com/10investigates.